canvas? Well, I dip bristles in waters of orchestrated hues, and it's poetry birthed the Philharmonic Symphony right on the east side of the soil that they said gave no life. So they don't know nothing about that living water, embedded streams that severed strings, so that my soul could conceive a blank canvas. So I've danced with dichotomies. I'm just saying it's all art, ain't it? I came to color Mondrian boxes with luminescence. I covered walls with my murals, those my morals. The narrow strokes of a painter's pen. I walk within these lines and they don't ever fail me. Perfect portrait of my imperfect choices. Poured familiar pigments. A paradox of Polaroids. A Kodak of memories that could preach harmonious sermons. This frame is of a cocoa-covered black woman, dripping facts on them. Beauty of Babylon, a relentless jewel coated in gold. Okay. Come grab my hand and fly with me into freedom's palace. Journey through my journal entries and find better days, dripping from the fingertips of this grown woman. Dripping from the fingertips of this grown woman is my soul's acrylic. Colors fill up, journey dripping, flood the river, my soul's acrylic. I coat the canvas with these colors, past and present. I learn my lessons as I... What's up, everybody? I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much once again for tuning in. Thank you for registering. Thank you for coming in here. Really quick. Well, first of all, welcome to Behind the Canvas, a place where I get to showcase to you what's going on behind all of this art, all of this, creativity and things like that. So I really appreciate you for stopping by and indulging in this space. So what's on the menu for today is that we're going to go behind the canvas of Soul's Acrylic. This is going to be a 5-day series. So today begins the first step into the journey together. We're going to focus on production behind Soul's Acrylic. If you want to ask questions, there's an ask a question space, so you can click on that and ask a question. If you have a question for me, if you have a question for the producer, who is Carolinah Blu, that's our guest for today, you can ask that question. There's the chat space, so you can definitely chat away, say things, whatever it is, you can put it in that space. And kind of the menu for today is I'm introing the show. I do have a couple of announcements, but after that I'll bring in our guest, which is Carolinah Blu. We're going to talk about how long he's been in the music, how long he's been producing for, and who he has produced for. And you'll learn the story behind how we connected. You'll be able to learn about our creative process. And then we'll chop it up and dig into the project. And we're going to focus on the tracks that he painted or prepared for me for this project. So that's definitely going to be dope. I'm going to give away my project. I'm going to give one of my physical CDs away today. So pay attention, because I'm going to ask a question that you'd be able to answer if you're paying attention during this process. So stay tuned for that. Later on, I'm going to ask Carolinah Blu about some tips and tricks. So if there's artists out there and you want to know, like, what kind of relationship is it to have with an engineer or producer and an artist, perhaps he can share some information about recording and mixing and mastering, and he's going to share his contact information, and then we're going to end the show. And that, that's basically what we're going to be in for. Announcements. my project is out. Go check it out if you haven't already. Check it out. I'm grateful about the success it's been able to find. It hit number 6 on the iTunes hip hop charts. That's crazy to me. It's dope. It's not number 6 no more, but it definitely hit there. But so that's definitely dope. I'm really happy about that. The streams are going well. I have merch available, so definitely go to my website, get some merch, Souls Acrylic merch pack, and support me as I support the next generation of creatives. So there's the shirt, there's the project, there's an art print, there's a pen. One of the things that's major is that there's a book. I did a photographic and poetic book that I would love for you to go and indulge in. It's actually a journal, so you get to share your thoughts and create poetry and things like that. So definitely check that out. But how y'all feeling out there? Like, throw something in the chat so I know y'all out there, Throw something in the chat. Let me see. All right, so I'm going to bring Carolinah Blu in here. First and foremost, introduce yourself to everybody, let them know who you are, and let's hop into this.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Carolinah Blu. I've been doing music for some time now, maybe longer than some of you have been alive, maybe not. Hip hop is my production, I guess my specialty with a side of R&B. I've done some music for worldly. I've done some music for a group called Ill Al and Scratch, Lloyd Banks, and Trick Daddy. Now I know y'all never heard nothing like that before. And then a whole slew of artists local here, a whole slew of independent artists, far as in Canada and all the way to Seattle, and Zadok, and now AI.
It's been a minute, it's been a minute since we known each other, and I don't know, it just finally came to a point where we were like, okay, let's make this happen. And so that's definitely dope. So you want to talk a little bit about how we came together?
Yeah, you know what? It's one thing that I do remember. I met AI early in her career, and she asked me to change my drums. She came to me at my other studio. I forgot, I think Zadok may have brought her through or something. She was like, yo, can you do these kind of drums? I'm like, nah, I can't do them kind of drums. Them ain't my kind of drums. So with that said, our initial meet and greet, we respectfully declined to not work with each other. Oh man!
Yo.
So then from there, if you could fast forward, I'm gonna say maybe 5, 6. I don't know. It's no telling because time flies when you're having fun. And then we relinked, and I guess it was time. I guess it was definitely time. So when the connector got us together, and AI was coming by the lab, she was coming by the studio. We were working. We were getting to know each other, which secret number 1, as a producer, engineer, as a silent partner in your artist career, you should definitely spend some time to get to know your artist. It makes everything a lot easier. You can pick up on their energy, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. You can ride off of that. You can play off of that. Maybe today they're not feeling too good, so we shouldn't do an up-tempo song. Let's do a song that's in that mode. You got to be able to pay attention to that, to your artist, if you get the opportunity to work with an artist directly like that. I wrote with AI through the whole project, so even whatever beat she brought in, I still was able to touch. I was still able to help create with her and get her to the spot where she was trying to go. But yeah, so we linked up, and it was initially it was a little. I'm not going to say stale. We were both open to getting to know the person from the other side, but it just took some time. We got a lot of parallels. Turns out, church I grew up in is the church she was a member of, and that was a big thing for me. That was a real big thing for me. The pastor at her church, I knew when he was understudying a pastor before him. Pastor Steve is it's just kind of crazy how things synced up the way they did.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. Yo, I forgot all about you telling you about them drums.
Oh yeah. And you not even now. Yo, listen. She touched the keyboard though. I
Yo, I
remember.
remember that.
She was like, "Yo, no, I need drums like these." It hurt. It hurt because I knew what was going on. I knew she was going to be super dope. I knew it was going to be
Yo,
something
that's
special here.
hilarious.
I just wasn't in that space, you know. I just wasn't in that space.
Yeah. Yo, I mean that goes to show you, like I was being me. I was being honest. Like, yo, can you do these kind of drums? Can you do this?
Yeah. Work.
You know, but
Work.
man, it was years before we came together, and yeah, I know in the beginning I was like just trying to fill you out and trying to figure out how we were gonna work together. And with me, you know, it'd be tough for me sometimes at first, just
Yes.
opening up. Like, is he gonna think I'm weird because of these little sounds I want to do in the middle of a track? And so you just kind of have that, like, you know, little anxiety with that a little bit. But I can't do nothing other than show you, like, yo, this is who I
Right.
am. Josh said she bossy.
No doubt, Josh. No doubt. No doubt. True.
But I probably came off that way. Cause remember when I got in the booth, I was like, you got these windows here. And
As it is in every booth.
I could see you, like, and so I was turning away from you because I vibe when it's like just me in a booth. I like to just be me in a booth. I feel like everything else is distracting. If I could see somebody moving and, you know, things like that, it's like it's distracting to me. Yo, I'm telling y'all, the next time I came to the studio, Blue had curtains to cover the window.
Yeah.
That right there,
Yeah.
that touched me. I was like, yo, he really paid attention and he cared enough to go out and get curtain rods and curtains. Yo, I was like, yo, okay, all right, I got this. This is dope. And then you had the candle joint going, and you just really created a space to make me feel comfortable. And that worked. That definitely worked. And then the process of us, you know, digging into the tracks and stuff, and you showing me some of the beats, I'm like, yo, this is dope. And it just kind of, you know, slowly, but as soon as we got that kind of flow to dance, it was over. It was over. It was like, yeah, I'm feeling that. All right, go get in the booth. All right, just you know, it's just nothing. You know, it's cool, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have the studio looks different for different artists. And being as though
that's
you're the one
dope.
that I've locked in with, you know, as time gone on, the studio is kind of left the way you left it. So it's still, you know, it's been primarily about you for at least the last year. And I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. I know you're great. I knew you was great. I knew when we couldn't link the first time that I might be missing an opportunity. And then when the opportunity represented itself, I said, oh yeah, I got to make sure I have to. I can't miss this.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of things in balance. I was talking to you off camera about the music itself, just the quality of the music, and then the message involved with it. Like I have a studio in my home. A lot of my family members, they know, but a lot of the music that I've been, you know, afforded to work with is not music that I would really say, hey, listen to this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the content is not content that I would necessarily approve of, and I know it doesn't make good moral sense, but business wise, I'm providing a service. And I had to get through all of that to get to this point. So when the AI crossed, I tell her all the time, I feel like I deserved an AI. So when the AI showed up, I was able to do what I needed to do to make sure that she was comfortable and we can get the best out of her. Because there are some things that you may not be familiar with that you can get familiar with when you have someone that's really not trying to be in front of the camera. Like this interview thing is kind of wild for me. There's a lot of people that will tell you, like, I didn't even think the dude really existed. I heard his name, but I ain't never really seen him before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's because I'm not the artist. I'm just here for support. But with this project, and those of you that's out there paying attention, I can't really see, but I would like to tell y'all that I finally had the opportunity to share some music that I've worked on that I was extremely proud of with the females in my life. My mother wouldn't be able to tell you my beat tag. She's a pastor, and I've never played. I've played some of Zadod music for her, but I haven't really played a lot of music that I've made with people on it per se, because the content is not any that would be, she would be able to appreciate. So when this project was done and over, I spammed it out to the family members, and they got back to me instantly, almost instantly, because I've never done that before. You know what I'm saying? And then they got back a second time when they listened to it and was like, yo, this is amazing. I have a 20-year-old niece that lives in Hamilton. She shared it with a handful of her friends and was extremely impressed by not only the music, but AI in general. Like AI's parallels is she's parallel in the way she's traveling, not necessarily the way she was brought up, but to see AI out here moving in the arts this way and helping kids, that's kind of what she would like to do. And all of this time, it never really dawned on me until the project was done that my niece would probably benefit from, getting to see AI out here moving around. Spoke to my mom's about the music. She loved the music. And those are things that, I don't know, you want to say stamps of validity that matter. An award is cool. Your people on the side of you saying, hey, everything's good, it sounds good, that's cool. But when your folks come through and they're reciting bars and they're calling out sounds, so it's not family oriented, you know what I'm saying? They like, no, we really, really, really like this. I'm really going to share this. My mom's brought the album. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's just, and not only did she buy the album, but she made me stay on the phone and help her get through it on her iPad and then load it on her phone so she could have it when she rides.
Oh man, Mom Dukes did it.
Yeah, crazy, right? That's out of here. That's better than any kudos award or anything right there. And to have been able to work on some music like that, that's like payment by itself.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. Remember you were telling me that, and I was like, oh my God, my heart is filled. Like, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And like, before anyone really heard a lot of the music, I let my mom hear it. And it's nothing like your mother approving and feeling proud of your work. She really likes it a lot, from start to finish, I like it because she'll be like, play that one about the choices again. I was like, Mom, man.
That's how you know she paying attention.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love that your mom likes the project, man. That's just crazy. That's dope to me.
Yeah.
So we got a couple comments.
While we're making it, you never was thinking about the after effects of it.
You don't really think about that. You're just creating. You're creating from a space within you. I'm responding to life with my music. Some people said, like Josh said, she came on time and ready, punctual and prepared. Talking about me coming to the studio.
No doubt. There's a level of respect. Another secret. Let me tell you, I've dealt with a lot of artists. When it's time to work, they're showing up late and the hour behind, the half an hour behind to get a session started. If you're locking in with the artist and they're doing that, there is definitely a level of disrespect involved with them not respecting your time that way. The money factor is really null and void. I can't get my time back. I need my time to be respected. So if you're a producer, you starting off anything and you got some people coming by and you want to work with them and build a catalog with them, if they can't make it to a session on time, let's talk about when real money shows up. Let's talk about when you guys got a show. Let's talk about when you guys have interviews or, excuse me, you're trying to get to anything next to the money, the real money, and they can't show up to work on the project on time for their career. That might not be who you think it is. And it's a lot of nice artists out here, so don't think that's the only time you're going to run into one.
Right.
Respect your time, and then others will follow.
It's definitely facts. You know, that's one thing that's very, very important to me, because my time, like, yo, I don't have a lot of it to just be wasted.
You got less of it than I do.
Yo, so one thing I respected always was when I came to the studio, you were prepared for me. You know, there's plenty of times in my past where I get to the studio and they're either still working with another artist or they're they don't have nothing geared up and ready to go. Like, I gotta wait about 30 minutes, and you know, I remember waiting almost an hour to start with at a recording studio, and that doesn't feel good, especially for somebody like me. Like, I'm scheduled. I gotta be somewhere. And so, you know, I've always respected that, you know, to the point where I felt like, oh, shoot, I'm going to be 10 minutes late, or not even, you know, 5 minutes late or something. I'm like, yo, I got to hit him up and let him know, like, yo, I am on my way. I'm going to be, you know, this much behind, because I respect your time too, man. You got family, you got work, you got all these things, like, you know. And the other thing is, because I experienced you kind of setting a platform, when I come, you have all this stuff prepared. So in my mind, I'm like, dang, I don't want to be late. And he done set and prepared it, put the energy into setting up, and I'm coming in all late. You know, all that deserves respect. So I'm like, yo, I gotta hit him up about, you know, being, if I'm gonna be behind. You know, I thought that was important. Somebody.
The thing that no one in TV land, internet land knows is every once in a while AI would bring the kids with her.
Yeah, gotta bring kids.
And for me, you know, I have a son. Her son is linked in with my son, and they built a small relationship in the process. But AI she's a juggling specialist. To watch AI do a verse and then check a kid, it is masterful. She'll bounce right out. What you say? Wait a minute, come here. Go sit down, finish that. All right, push the button. Let me go back in. I'm like, I got sober woman in the building. This is crazy.
Yo.
But it's not often that you get the opportunity to see that, because the children were definitely well mannered, and you know, having them be a part of the project for me just seemed like a natural. It was just a natural, because they were part of the project, whether they realized or not. They were part of it. So why not add them in? Why not give them an opportunity to be, you know, to show up somewhere and hear themselves in something that they, you know, may have been here while we were making from scratch.
Facts.
No, yeah,
exactly.
That's what's up.
Faced, who I know, that's Ray, which I appreciate you, Ray, for being in here. Appreciate your support. He said, grade A, mother approved, back when we were talking about our moms liking the music. Josh said, and Grace said, aw. Josh said, makes sense to see how a project you believe in gets shared with family that hasn't really heard your stuff. Yeah, I think that's super dope.
Yeah.
And then Grace asked the question. She said, Blue, would you say she had influence on you in growth on another level?
Yeah. Well, let me influence. Yes, tremendous amount of influence, because I have a list of the top 5 artists that I've worked with personally, and AI has moved. She's moved about 3 or 4 of them out of the way this late in my career. Like, AI doesn't really know that she may have extended my music making professionally career. She may have extended it because I was feeling a little bit of stagnant, and no disrespect to the people that I've been dealing with, because they are exceptional. I was just looking for something different. I was looking for something new. I have not had many female artists that I've had the pleasure of working with, and that's not of my doing. It's just that I work pretty organically. I don't go out to find people. They kind of find me through others. And other than AI, it may be one or two females that I've worked really closely with. And AI is like 3 or 4 artists at a time. So I'm getting something different. I'm getting a singer, I'm getting a rapper, I'm getting a poet, I'm getting someone that's treating music as an art. So in the truest form of artism, she's an artist. You know what I'm saying? So we color based in the lab. Is it a blue day? Is it a red day? Right. How we kind of moving with it.
What's crazy is literally we're changing the color. As you all can see in the background, the colors are changing. Like sometimes I was like, yo, Blue, turn it blue in the studio. Turn it red. It's a red day.
Right. Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. And to be 100% honest with you, I didn't realize that I was getting prepared to be able to house greatness this way.
That's dope.
No gas AI. It's just the truth. Whether you think it or not, that's just what it is. I felt prepared. You know what I'm saying? I felt prepared to be able to deal with someone on AI's level of artistry, of human. Just, woman's an awesome human, y'all. She's an awesome human.
Thanks.
And that has increased my need or my want to be more than I already thought I was doing more. You know what I'm saying? But somebody come upon you and they just got a lot going on. And she has a lot going on.
Yeah, I do got a lot going on. I don't know how I do it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Just do it. You just gotta go. You just do whatever you gotta do. Josh made a comment. He said, makes sense to see how a project... Oh, I said that already. He said, what's dope is the connection went beyond the studio recording because you were part of the paint parties that I did.
Right.
And we were about to go catapult into the school system.
I noticed that AI froze up. Hopefully I'm not.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. So, realistically, okay, some things about AI. AI is a protected individual. And she has a lot to protect. She has a relationship, she has her businesses, her various businesses, ventures, she has her music, which are extended babies, whether she look at it or not. Those are babies. Those are not just songs. They're, releases for her heart, if you want to say that. She's getting some things off of her chest in a way that is creative. And you guys get to enjoy for however long, you get to play back those memories. But AI approached me on like, hey, listen, I got some things going on outside of the studio. You seem to be pretty stable in the studio. Do you think, can that stability travel?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, it can travel. I'm business oriented. You could trust that the quality is part of the person. So if I can be there, then the quality is going to come along. And we proceeded to set a business relationship up on outside as well as inside. So that increases the connection with the creativeness. Because now, so many artists I only see in the recording booth or only see them in the studio. When you get the opportunity to go out with the artist into the open, then you get to see them in a different light. You get to see how they move. So now when you're back at the studio, you can talk about those things and bring those ideas up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And toss them some more rope to kind of reel in some different ideas. And it's important, but yeah, so we've become somewhat business partners.
Yo, for real.
Other facets at this point, right?
That's real. That's real talk, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yo, let's take this on the road. Shoot.
And I was down.
Yeah,
I didn't even know I was down.
Yeah, you were definitely down.
So didn't know that the trajectory was going to go that way. And it's been beautiful. I mean, we've been in schools, y'all. And they had an auditorium full of children. AI share a story with them. She'll share some life quotables with them. She'll talk to them, answer questions, perform for them. And for me, that's something that I always wanted to do, but never really knew how to do. And she just was like, yo, listen, I'm already driving the van, hop in the passenger side. I'm going to take us there. And, we do what we do. And we were starting to get into that. And then the COVID thing put it on
super hold.
But I believe wholeheartedly, and we talked about it, this project required COVID level of focus.
It did.
In order for us to get what we needed to get out of it. Because if we were still running all over the place.
This project wouldn't have got finished.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it would have got finished.
Not in the time that it did.
Here, she had me running. She had me leaving one job, going to the other job, back to the other job. And I was down.
We had these schools lined up.
Yeah.
March, April, May was our months.
Yeah.
Man, it is what it is. But hey, hopefully next year, whatever, But it was dope. It was a dope collab when it came to that, yo. You had my back, and it was good to have somebody that knew me. I think that those things that happened outside of the booth really helped our relationship get stronger even the more,
Yeah.
So like you said, I come back in the studio, we it's just like we just moving, and then the trust that I had was built with you too. Like, yo, when you would throw on a beat, most of the time, like in the beginning, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna take this beat home, I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna write, because I want to get in my space, because in my own space, I feel I can be vulnerable and I can let loose. Whereas the more we work together, it was like, turn on a beat. All right, I'm gonna just go in the studio and I'm gonna just flow. You feel me? That's crazy to me. I really haven't done that with nobody. That's a very sacred situation for me,
For all artists, derobing a little bit and letting it out, not being scared to hit a sour note, not being scared to say something a little like, yo, that didn't add up with this, was irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even talk about. I mean, we had lyric conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had lyric conversations where I'm like, yo, AI, you sure we pushing? This is where we going? She's like, yeah, I'm for the smoke. This gotta go, bro. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. But it would be a shame for me to know that and you to get out in the open and you ain't heard it from someone on your team yet, and they done hit you with something you ain't never heard of. Like, nah, I understand what I'm doing. This is on purpose. But like you say, the process, a lot of the songs, the way a lot of the songs was made that I produced with her, was I initially had to find her tempo. So from the stuff that she was sending me, when I would tempo match it within the program, I use Logic for any real heavy heads out there that's into the behind the scenes like that. I use Logic primarily, find out the tempo of what AI likes. And then I could pretty much steer her in whatever direction I think she should go in, because the tempo is a tempo that she can rhyme and vibe to. So her beat folder might have all 91 BPMs in it, and when I'm playing them, she automatically got the head nod. So now we got a connection, even if that's not the right beat, we got a connection. She's like, okay, well, all right, play something else. And it's the same tempo, but it sounds different vibe. You're like, oh, this the one. I'm like, yeah, that thing 91. And that's where you get nice at.
Yep, it's facts.
Now it's like, okay, you like the first couple notes, let's not even play with it. Go into the booth, lock in, close your curtains.
Close the curtains.
You know what I'm saying? Close your curtains. And go ahead and give us something, right?
The next song, I'm going to start off by saying, all right, Blue, close the curtains.
Yeah, right? Oh, you got to do that next year. You got to do that for the next joint. So then she'll go and she'll hum something, or she'll harmonize a little something. AI is a freestylist, and she doesn't really know it. She doesn't know she could actually be a real deal freestylist. So she'll get a freestyle on, get a good idea, lay down decent groundwork, take that with her. And if it pop up a month or so later, it's a song. It's like, yo, you remember that one, bro? Bring that up from before. And then everything that she initially just kind of played with, she added words to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, now we running. Now we going.
Facts.
So that's that creative process for things that I was working with her on. Some of the other things that she brought in, she had a large idea. She was already to second verse. She already had hooks, or she'll just throw the hook down, take that with her, and come back with it. But I tell you what, I have not seen a person complete a song through a mumble session like that. Because a lot of people do the mumble and then they don't go back. Yeah. You know, oh yeah, that was a great feeling, and they feel how they feel, and then we make something else on site or whatever. But she'll go home and think about it, put it together, piece it together, and then bring it back to the lab, and we'll have a whole session on something like that.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. But yo, let's dig into some of this music and talk about it. Before we do that, let me see. Yup, somebody said grown woman, iron sharpens iron. Wow, my goodness. Let me see. Pastor Fury said, come on, look at God using COVID. Won't he do it? That's right. He did it.
Facts.
Josh said normally she goes in the car riding around with beats and free flowing on the iPhone. Yeah, yup. I would do that a lot. Somebody said, yo, close the booth. I'm ready. So it's funny. Yeah, let's dig into the tracks that you produced, and we can kind of talk about, we'll play just a little bit and then we'll talk about the process for these joints.
Got you. I'm gonna start off with, since we were talking about freestyle, this is a track I produced along with another like keyboard savant. His name is Lamont, out of Buffalo. The man is amazing on keys. He's blessed with music. This one I'm gonna play a little bit for y'all. It's called Not Okay, and I'm gonna tell you about it once we cut up. Okay, so now that's Not Okay. Not Okay was one of those instances where we did exactly what I spoke about. Played the music. I said, hey, listen, I've got a beat in the system. It was supposed to be for a beat tape that I was going to do with the other producer, and we was on pause. He got busy. I got busy, and we was just on pause. But I had this beat sitting, and she liked it when she heard it. She was like, oh, let me go in the booth. So we got into the booth, and what you hear is the first words said, first words sung, first words spoken, over the music, all the way to the point where we did that in its entirety, and it just went away. And then, like in the 9th hour of the album, we was like, "Hey, listen, we need a transition to get out of that, grab my hand, into something a little less heavy."
Right.
So this reappeared. I got with the other producer and asked him if it was okay. He said, yeah, man. He said, go ahead, do what you got to do. I love AI. Her music is dope. He was familiar. He was already a fan. He was like, yeah, this is a blessing to be a part of. So then we got back together and we was like, well, okay, let's do it for real. And we realized what we took out the gate was for real. You know what I'm saying? So that is one of those sessions that she recorded what came out initially. We didn't tweak it. It's mixed from her original vocals, the original take. There's not a second take for that. There's not a third take for that. There's not a let me try this take. That is the try this take.
Yeah.
That is
That's
a level
crazy.
of artistry that I am not used to dealing with. AI is very picky, but she does have a chill. She knows when it's what it needs to be, and we both agreed 100% that was what it needed to be.
That joint was crazy. That process.
Yeah.
And we didn't even, the thing about it is that we didn't even know that would be something. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, I like this sound. This joint sound dope. And honestly, I went in the booth and I just said what I felt that particular day. And I was just going through a lot of different stuff that day, and I just reflected on that, and that's what came out. And I think while I was in the booth, I was like, oh, it sounds pretty good. I sound pretty good. It sound like I could sing. And you're the one that was like, yo, you should like put this on a project. Yeah. I was the one like, nah, I don't know how this gonna fit. And I was like, let me trust you. And it worked. I'm so glad. I was like, yeah, let's make this happen. You know? Yeah,
that's smack dab. That's pretty smack dab in the middle. That's like middle-ish of the project. Yep. And it's kind of like a palate cleanser. It's something that is relaxing. You know, you heard some things previously, and the project is still going, but we want to have that break in between meals where, okay, all right, whew, we good now. And then we got back into it. And then getting back into it, it was still, you know, we were still right where we needed to be. It wasn't like we had stepped out of the realm. It was just like, yo, let's take a breather. Let's take a second, and then we're going to get back into some content.
Right.
But I played that for someone, and they was like, bro, like, I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I totally get where she was at that moment. And I had missed the message in it. I was more so enamored with how she delivered, you know, I'm not okay. And I'm thinking it's just that. Mm-hmm. But it's more than that, because there is a time in your life, there's a time in your day where, yo, you really not okay with what's going on right now. Like, I'm really not okay with this. I'm accepting it. I'm living with it. I'm dealing with it. But I'm not okay. Mm-hmm. And a lot of AI's rhymes, a lot of AI's layers and her bars and things of that nature is going to take a few times to listen, to grasp, to get. Some things are in your face. You can't miss them. But there's a lot of things, like I'm listening to the music. I've listened to AI, all the AI songs over 100 times and mixing them.
Yeah, right.
And I'm still finding things. Not stuff I was looking for. I'm just like, oh, that's what I'm catching that. You know what I'm saying? So the layers on the music, the layers within the message is by itself something that's important. But then when you can get the opportunity to, you know, work on the music and provide a sonic bed for that, so I think that works out well.
Somebody said you could do the whole album like that. You singing was unexpected and amazing. Yeah, you know what? I didn't think of the unexpectedness of it. It is unexpected. It's just like, boom. And it came in perfect right after all this heavy talk. And I had to admit, you know, I'm not okay, you know, after that. So somebody said it puts you in a chill mode. You got to tell the truth. Yeah. Let's dig into this next joint.
Let's go to Freedom's Place. And not only are we going to go to Freedom's Place, but we're going to get a little closer to the end. So I'm going to skip ahead on it.
I got all that I need. Amazing that you would call me friend. I got all that I need. This love is crazy, it will never end. I got all that I need. There's nothing more that you need to give. I got all that I need. Yeah, I got all that I need in you. I am mercy and grace. so good. I'm a father. I'm a father. All that I need. I got all that I need. I got all that 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 I. Let me talk to you. You be surprised all the things that I've been through. All that cream that I went through to appease all my sinfuls. Yeah, that dirt ran deep underneath all that grim fruit. Couple bands in a Ginsu. Yeah, slice up the grams, pop tags with a kinfolk. Stack cash in advance till I get more. Power of your grace, but my flesh like the tiptoe. Let me right to the casket. Buried in my...
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So now, for a moment, and it wasn't designed that way.
Nope.
But for a moment, you could forget that we are dealing with a Christian hip hop artist, not the boxer. But for a moment, you can forget, like, yo, this is just really good music, and you'll get the food, you'll get the message on the back, and you may not get it out the gate. You might be like, oh wow, there's no curse words here, there's a tone set here, but changing the beat gave her the opportunity to actually just go ahead. Get your worship on.
Right.
In a facet that, you know, it's not normal. That's not normally where you Abba fathering at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it worked though.
Sweet. That joint
It worked.
was sweet.
I'm really proud that she trusted me enough to go in there like that, because that's a different kind of thing.
I remember when you showed me that, I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you got in there though. You be talking like you don't sing, man. You be singing, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see you not singing. You know, I don't see that. That's not okay. Will you do a whole album of just singing? Probably not.
Nah.
Because you got too many bars, and you can't sing that many bars.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Can't do that.
But we gotta sprinkle that. We gotta sprinkle that.
Oh man, all through it.
Yeah, we gotta sprinkle that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Josh said it's a lot of positive feedback from that track. Yo, that track gets a lot of good feedback. It does, especially that thing what you did at the end there. You know, and what's cool is, like, a lot of people won't know this unless we tell them, but most of the tracks that you produced, we went through this like morphing of, like, remember even the first track, Acrylic. Right. Remember how we pieced that joint together and then
that joint was like 12 minutes originally, y'all.
Most of them were
like 12 minutes.
Most of them were like, even Gold. I just kept going and going. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, Blue, I don't know what to do. Just go and chop it up.
Right. Make it right.
And
make it right.
We had to go through it over and over and like, okay, yeah, we can get rid of this part. We can get rid of that section. Because some of these joints, I really was just freestyling.
Right.
I'd go in the booth. Probably all of the tracks you produced.
Right.
I immediately was like, yes, this is it. I'd go in the booth. And then now I'm in there freestyling for 10 minutes. I'm like, and you just was just egging me on, like, okay, keep going, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll run it back.
Yeah.
As a producer for any of our people out there budding, trying to think about doing it, getting into it, there's a beat maker and there's a producer. The person that makes the beat, to be credited, like, there's some awesome beats on here that I had nothing to do with, but the songs I had everything to do with. And that's where the producer comes in. The producer sees, a lot of people thinks that there's a beat and there's a rapper or there's a singer and the song happens. In some cases it does, but there's still some glue, there's still some gel, there's still some behind the scenes things that have to be added in or brought out of the artist that an artist can't just do up in their room by themselves with a beat.
No.
At any level. You know what I'm saying? Any artist will tell you, I would rather work with a producer than not.
Yeah.
But, you know, the way that things are set up nowadays, they're afforded to just go in and knock it out. And it works that way. Mm-hmm. But I like to think that you can tell the difference between the opportunity or you can tell the difference between when two people, two minds get together, they lock in, they sink in. you get a different kind of vibe to the music. Actually, you get a vibe because they're both invested. And I'm as invested in her music as she is. I can't say that I'm more invested, but you know, I'm invested. So I want to see her in the best light at all times. For my budding producers, beat makers. There's nothing wrong with being a beat maker. They are necessary. There's nothing wrong with being a producer. They are necessary. Some people can do both. Some people can do one or the other. But it's all in your ears, you know, it's all in your ear and your mindset to kind of know where you want to go with some things. One of the things that AI told me, she was like, "Bro, listen, with some of the music that you've done, I want to get some features on some of the music to kind of spread you out a little bit within the genre." And the gold track is what I'm about to play, featuring Mr. Burgundy. When he came back, when the vocals came back, I was like, "Oh wow, this dude is awesome. Like, this is kind of crazy. Like, who we got here? What's going on here?"
Right.
And I went and did my research. I'm like, "Oh wow." Out of the gate in CHH, I was feeling blessed. I'm like, "Wow, this is next level. This is somebody I may have had to drop a couple projects to get to," and he showed up. Man. He showed all the way up.
All the way.
With no question.
None.
So this is gold. You got that game show vibe.
Yeah.
Black is December for the day of the Lord. Black as they come, black was supposed to be the thing we abhor. But black has become the one thing we all secretly adore. We want more, but we're told it's impure. That's the law, we in a storm. When it's a category 4 in red form. When the Messiah stands up on his boat, he'll make it calm. My skin was the butt of their jokes, and then they sprayed it on. Cause honestly, there's no mistake in his original creation. Hated by the nations, a life of adaptations. Our only preservation is our holy meditation. My black queen has been with me through the hating and the faking. My black queen rubbed my back, caressing all my frustrations. Well respected like the Queen of Sheba, ignoring Mona Lisa. Adoring Zara's features, that's my son and daughter's teacher. The evil can't defeat us, they hang us from the cedars. The Holy Spirit freed us, so they cannot deceive us.
I am a black woman, respect, bring it back to me. And never take that from me, you can never take that from me. No, I am a black woman, respect, bring it back to me. And never take that from me, you can never take.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so with something along those lines, with music like that, with the message on it, I was super excited to send that out to the women in my life. You know what I'm saying? Wife first, and all of the other ones, mother, sister, niece, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of music that I'm hoping that they could hear and call back on, because that's something that they're not given initially, you know what I'm saying? And then we even toyed around, with switching some wordplay up, and AI being who AI is, she's like, no, we're gonna do this one like this, bro. We're gonna do this one this way. And I'm like, yeah, to be extremely respectful. That's a song she may have wanted to hear somebody else do, but she felt like she had to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that came out really good. And the way that Mr. Burgundy got in there, he got busy. He really spoke on it. He really took he took some time. And I don't know if it's the music, if it's the topic, or if it's AI. Because you don't want to get on no track with AI. And you don't know how this is gonna play out. So let me err on the side of killing it, so I don't end up on the cutting room floor, even big as I am, or feel like, dang, I didn't show up on an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, where I could have really given more. I just really think he got in the pocket and did really well.
He did. He consistently is fire anyway. So
right.
definitely was dope. Honestly, that's a feature that I one of the features that I've always wanted to be able to work with. Like, yo, Ishan, I got a lot of respect for that dude, and like we created something dope.
Yeah.
Definitely created something dope.
That's why I call him Mr. Burgundy. That's all the respect I could possibly give you, sir. That's
Mr.
the
Burgundy.
highest form of respect I got for you,
Yo,
uh,
so there's a
Mr.
question.
Burgundy.
There's a question out here. Pastor Fury asks, what DAW does Carolina use? LPX, FL Studio? Got a follow up question related to sounds. I told him that
Oh,
you do Logic.
yeah, I'd use Logic.
Logic.
Definitely. I mean, I'm a certified Pro Tools operator. I haven't really dabbled with the Fruity Loops too much. I have it if I got to open up a session from a client or something like that. But yeah, Logic is pretty much my go-to.
He said
I'm a Mac.
that's one of his of choice, you know, what he works with. He said he's curious as to what's your primary synth or keys. Omnisphere, Serum, something else. Sorry if this is not something to ask in this video. Oh no, ask these questions. This is the actual place to ask these questions. This is good. Thank you for asking it.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. I do rock with Atmosphere, not too much on this project because of the organic vibe of it. It is a little more live based, so I'm in contact with a lot of stuff. I'm in contact heavy, pulling basses out of contact, pulling keys out of contact. I use the Alicia Keys preset for piano related stuff. And then there's also a bass plugin called Sub Boom. It's nice. Bass is real tight. And let me see. I sample. I sample a lot. I'm on Splice. If you're not familiar with Splice, I'm on Splice heavy. I'm grabbing bits and pieces from there. A lot of times tracks get started with that. Sometimes the stuff stays in there. Sometimes it doesn't. And there's an additional keyboard player that I deal with. His name is Carrie A. And he'll come through and help out. He'll toss me a bass line or something. But you know, the production thing, I don't have any specific one thing that I'm using, and that's why I deal with Logic, so that I can use a collection of things. But I will tell you this, Pastor Fury, when you're making music, if and when and however, I usually try to keep one or two plugins in the session. I try not to do like 3 or 4 different plugins, because with mixing, it makes it easier to mix it because it's all coming out of the same modules. And then when you bring it back up, it's not a lot of stuff that the program has to look for. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you for asking, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, those questions are definitely invited. Perfect. So you want to pop in another track that we can talk about? Somebody said this album is timeless. Years from now, it will still be appreciated and played. That's what's up. That's always dope. Pastor Fury said he loves Splice.
Yeah, that's dope. That's timeless is what you aim to do. I'll play another song, but before I play another song, I'll say that I didn't really go into excuse me, the CHH community to check music because I didn't want to be affected by the music that we were making. I didn't want to be influenced. I didn't want to feel like we were competing with this sound or competing with that style. And in doing that, there's a couple benefits in that. If you listen to some of the major artists, they'll tell you, yeah, I don't really listen to a lot of what's going on because I don't want to have to keep those thoughts out of my mind. I kind of stay away from that when I'm locked in. I'm in album mode. It took me and AI probably about 2 years to make this project. So at times I really wanted to get in. I wanted to see, okay, well, what are they doing over there? How is it sounding? Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that I didn't, because I would have been affected. And driving the van and being a producer, I'm going to serve her some music that sounded similar to that. But when you step away from that, and when you because I mean, AI told me, she was like, yo, bro, we not in the pocket. This is not how it's sounding out there.
It's not,
so we not doing what was being done primarily. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, she on that label. I don't want to get fired before I get hired. I want to give them some things that they're used to hearing, but I don't want to give them the exact thing. And then they are like, no, we good. I'm doing me. We're gonna run it. We're gonna run it through. We're gonna run it through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I'm down. I'm rolling with Rush. Okay, so next song, let's go with
Pastor Fury said, dope deep dives into Logic. Appreciate it. He said, I usually feel like a nerd asking those questions. Nah, man, this is the place for it.
Oh yeah. This is
the place.
This is all good. So let us go with, I'm gonna stay away from, let's go with okay. Let's go with the let's go with the outro, the free throw session.
How this
is
20 minutes long.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a long one. We're not gonna go through everything, but it's
originally it was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we had to cut down. And then we had to go back and cut it down again. And we had to cut it down again. And then we had to be sure and secure with whether we were going to really turn it into a full-fledged record. We just wanted to share where we was at in the time with what we were doing with it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna play a little bit of that.
Fasten your seatbelt that's attached to your habits. Admit that you need help. Eyes latched on a fraction of regret, but you sapped up the sweetness of giving. It feel good, ain't it? And it's funny how a hood painted a Jackson Pollock. Pop luck of souls acrylic. Golden parks in my lens. All I see is my choice of weapons. I divorce my trauma, abort my nonsense, distort my toxins, and exchange this pain for a lamb of Abba, Father. Okay. A faint smile, this is Mona Lisa. The brown skin version, melanin, isn't it? Beautiful. The daughter of microphones, check. Deep in the womb. I was born to a woman who consumed, but chose by a woman who allowed me to bloom. Black woman, okay. You see me now. Told me to pick cutting. Now they tell me to shake it, get money, turn around. Not this black woman, never down. Respect, bring it back to me. Yeah, black woman, black, I'm a black woman. And never take that from me.
That's credits rolling. That is credits rolling. That's get up and go home. We done right now. This is it. You know, you're not getting any more. This is a wrap. It's a saran wrap out here. And realistically though,
I was in a booth for a minute.
Say that again. I missed it.
I was in a booth for a minute just vibing off that beat. Remember when you switched that? Because it didn't.
It's a switch.
It didn't even start that way.
Right.
We actually did that switch up sound. That was how we started.
Yeah, definitely. You know? That was the first part.
Man, go ahead. What you were
AI's
saying.
proud. She's proud in her skin. Like if you really need to see somebody that's comfortable with who they are, AI is a person to look to. So when she gets in the booth, she's extremely humble, but she knows what she's capable of. And I know what she's capable. I know what she's capable of. So if she's shortchanging, I can go in and get some more from her. But so the way that the song came together, the way that the song came together, I remember many moons ago, AI was like, yo, I like bongos. I like to get a little bit of bongo action going on. So I'm like, okay, we not the industry is not on bongo game right now. So this is gonna be fun because I like bongos too. I got a collection of bongo sounds. Pastor Fury, we definitely want to get you some acoustic sounds, some bongos, some tambourines, some hi-hats, loops of those. You definitely want to do that. You want to have a bunch of those, a plethora of those loaded. Logic comes with a bunch too, so look into that, find those loops, because sometimes that gives you your static beat a little bit of movement. But the way that it happened, we spent however long on the second half of the beat, and then we spent just as much time on the parts that you heard, and then we chopped out verses, we chopped out sounds, we chopped out all types of things to get it to where it's at now, you know. And just by it being the last song on the record, it was just kind of like it sums everything up, because a little bit of everything is in there. There's an 808 in there, there's regular drums in there, there's strings in there, there's a whole collection, a collage of a lot of the sound was used on the record. Yeah, so
it's like we took all the colors and just like threw them at the canvas, like here, boom. And I love it because the project begins as like a foreshadowing,
right?
And I'm telling you like what you're going to see throughout this journey, and then okay is a beautiful ending. It's like the end slices of the bread, you know.
Yeah.
You know those end slices at the in the front part of the bread loaf and the last part. It was like perfect beginning and ending to the joint, man. I just remember being in that booth. I just kept going, and you was just like switching up stuff. I think that might be the one where you had to start adding more. Because I just kept rapping. It was like, I got to extend this beat out. I was like, yo, keep going. Yo, did you keep the original?
Oh, yeah, I have it. Originally set up.
Because I was saying.
That might be a Patreon thing.
That might need to be. Yo, because I was saying a lot. We cut out a lot.
The first bar to the last bar, you might have heard the last bar first. Yeah, we moved that thing around. We chopped it up.
All over.
That's another thing too. When you're creating music, there's a bunch of rules that you want to be familiar with, but not necessarily ones that you have to follow. We're creating music. You know what I'm saying? We're not just replaying, we're not just redoing, we're creating. And when you take the opportunity, when you get someone like AI to trust me to do anything with her music, puts me in a position where I feel like I owe her, you know what I'm saying, the best that I can do, because she's sharing her stuff with me. She doesn't have to. AI has, what you got, about 4, 5 projects before this one?
3 before this one. This the 4th.
Right. So with, freestyles or whatever, she's been doing this like long before I joined her. So I'm in a brand right now. I done got into a brand, and I'm like, well, I don't want to ruin your brand. You know what I'm saying? I had a couple moments where I was checking comments and stuff under posts and things of that nature, and the people was talking about, oh man, I can't wait to hear the music. My daughter loves this. I can't wait. I love AI, and I had a moment. I had to talk to some of my peoples, and they had to pull me back in. I'm like, yo, bro. I know we making some fire, but this might not be the fire they used to hearing. I mean, the Severed Threads was moving that way. Blank Canvas was moving that way, but it wasn't 100%. AI got her Jill Scott on in the middle of this. That might not be what someone's ready to hear. I can't imagine how they wouldn't.
Right.
But she got fans. Like, and I'm saying it to y'all, but I'm saying it to my guy. Like, yo, she got fans, bro. And I don't want to be in here. And they like, this is the dud. He was like, man, it's impossible. My team was like, it's impossible. That's timeless. That's classic music y'all putting together. Y'all putting something magical together over there. Stay on that. Don't fall off on that.
Yeah, man.
And I think it was the right thing.
Definitely.
So listen, let me get into the single. Let's get the single going. Let's get facts going. And we got a little something. She got a little extra production credits on that, because she definitely altered my whole entire beat.
Yo.
So yeah, let's play a little bit of fact.
I like to paint.
business is philanthropic. That's a fact. Yeah. I capture truth with my optics. Yeah. I put profit in other markets, invested in younger pockets, cause next gen they be watching. Fact. Yeah. I exhibit prints of the living. Yeah. With encryptions, ignite a difference. Yeah. I spit fishes with pure intentions, my flim fluent combined tools. I'm instrumented. Load the ink in a pen, blueprint the cataclysm. Grab the film and a lens, photographic lyrics, framing the composition, lane competition. But I'm indifferent, my mission ain't to be top position. My ambition is rooted deep in the holy scriptures. My intent is to point them all to the crucifixion, exposing lies and shine light on the contradictions. He gave me light, and with this life, I choose to live it true. This is facts so affordable. Hard times, dark nights, nothing new. It's grind time, pick a side, no influencer. Mindset, stand firm to what's true to me, that's a fact. We don't compromise by copying lies, fact. We epitomize the battle cry, fact. We don't compromise by copying lies.
That joint is crazy.
Yeah, that's dope.
There
was 2 or 3 sessions spent on getting the beat to where she needed it to be to write it. Because when I played it initially, it started with that, and then again I was on my change, so I changed it into something else 8 bars in, and it lost a feeling for her. But it was like it had already left a stain on her brain, so it didn't make it through whatever first session. And then the second session, like, yo, play another thing from before. You're like, yo, you think you can get that out of there and just keep this right here? You think you can run this through? Give me a loop of that. So I'm like, oh,
yeah,
all right, I'll loop it up. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
yeah.
I'll loop it up. I mean, it's active.
Yeah.
And it's not.
And that's what's
normal,
dope.
It's not your normal. You know what I'm saying? It's a little unorthodox, but it's still on. It's where it should be, so that you can catch the rhythm to it. But you know, I'm like, I didn't even know her ears work that way. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. I like that.
I told you
that.
when I heard that intro, I was like, "Yo, this joint is the joint." And then it shifted, and I'm like, "Dang!" And so I did sleep on it. I slept on it. I was like, "All right, well," and then I'm like, "No, Blue can actually make changes. So let's go back to this and let's start like chopping this thing up, because it's like." I wanted, and throughout this process, and I believe we've come to a moment in which I have the trust and the comfort level to be like, yo, I'm feeling this part of this, and I'm not really feeling this. Can we make something out of this right here without feeling like I don't want to like hurt your feelings, or I don't want to like step on your toes in something that you took time to create. But I feel like as we kept going on, I was like, you know what, like we in here, we created, so let's just figure it out, And I'm glad you were able to do that, because that joint is fire.
Yeah. So I mean, check it. So when an AI originally, when I mentioned earlier that I originally met her and she wanted me to change drums. At that time period, the producer that I am now and the producer that I was then, I wasn't open to that. So there was gonna be another clash later on down the road, because it's my way or the highway type of vibe. And when you're dealing with the music, if you're really trying to make the best music you could make, then you have to be open to constructive criticism. You have to be able to change a snare, change a hi-hat. The way you made the beat is not the only way the beat can be. And if you're really out here trying to make something great, then you have to be moldable. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything. What I like, everyone else doesn't like.
Right.
And I'm trying to get on her album. So it's her album. It's not my album. It's her album. So if she wants it this way, then something that she has not been afforded to be able to do in the past is talk to the person that made the beat and say, yo, can we do this? I have to leave that lane open. I have to make her comfortable enough to be able to say that to me, because we can't make music if we can't make music. You have to be able to communicate back and forth. I read a review on the album. I don't know. I don't remember the editor's name, but I think it was on Rapzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a song for song, and the guy or the gal noticed that the drums was going from left to right in the speakers, because I have a double kick and I have a double snare in there. And if you cut the music off on the left, it's a different beat from if you cut the music off on the right.
Mm.
And they totally picked up on that and was like, yo, this is unorthodox. This is not what we had expected. This is not what we were expecting to hear. And I'm like, you know what? I like that. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to deliver something new. Or we're trying to be a giraffe amongst Bearcats.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
what we're trying to do. We're trying to stand out and above. Not even just stand out. We're trying to stand out and above. Set a standard.
Exactly.
Let them know that there's opportunities to do something a little different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And expand the territory for people. Like, yo, you can actually do a lot of whatever you want. You don't have to stay in a pocket that you listening to, thinking that's the only thing you can do. You know, we wouldn't have these greats out here if they didn't try something new, with a little, you know, added touch of some that have already existed. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson got some influence from James Brown. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he was him, and he was different.
Yeah, all day.
You know, so. I was really excited to be able to like actually create, but which leads me to this, like, we haven't even hit the surface yet.
No. Mm-mm.
We was just playing around. We haven't even really
created already.
Man, we haven't even really created yet. So I'm excited to see what happens next. So I want to read some of these comments, and I see that our time is coming to an end here, and I definitely want to do my giveaway thing. There's another song you want to play, right? Is there another one?
There's a couple more on there, but no, I'm good. I think we got to what we need to get to.
Yeah. So somebody said yes, totally. This from earlier. Jill Scott, Badu, Lauryn Hill. But all in for the Lord, all over this thing. When a lot of people been saying that, and that really makes me feel like, oh my God, like that's a huge compliment to me.
You didn't even know. That's okay to not know.
It's a huge compliment to me because I respect all of them, and I really do love their sounds. Josh said, was no ruin in the brand, Blue. If anything, this union of y'all amplified the brand. She been looking this sound of what. Basically, I've been wanting a sound like this for a long time, which is why I was like, yo, I'm going to need to come do this paint party with me, Blue. Come to these schools with me, Blue. Let's keep building because, yo, I really believe you got something that I don't hear a lot of what you have. I am picky as a mug. I'm super picky. It takes me hours to find. You already know because I came to you. You actually worked towards the end of Blank Canvas. You're the one who... Didn't you mix and master that joint? Some of them.
I mixed Eastside. I think Eastside was our first real thing, and it was a couple other ones I had in there too that I worked.
You mixed you mixed a couple of the songs, but my bro Riggs mixed and mastered the whole thing. But we started to kind of come together towards the end of Blue Canvas, Blank Canvas, and like you remember I had like three producers that I was like, yeah, this is Blue Magic, this is this person, this that person, and that was it. Like, these are the only ones. If I knew them personally, you know, that'd be dope. But yo, I feel like you're a mixture of a lot of those that I respect a lot. So, yo, I feel like you feel like you got somebody who is like, you know, like, yo, I'm glad to work with you. I'm glad to work with you because you can create based off of like what I need or what I feel like I want, but yet you also create stuff that I didn't think that I needed. And then you'll introduce it to me. I'm like, yo, I didn't think of that. Well, let me try it. So it's like I just love it. I cannot wait. I really cannot wait for us to actually like go in, which is crazy because the project was really good, but we haven't even scratched the surface, yo. Pastor Fury said might be the best CHH album I've heard. Thank you. That's crazy. This is like a college dropout for Kanye, a thriller from MJ. Mark made that the best in the pile of albums in CHH, starting a whole new pile, separate apart amongst the set apart. Oh man, yo, that's a huge compliment. Face said, well, that's Ray. He said, respect, Blue. Love the humility, Carolinah. Right. Somebody said, all facts. Getting so inspired tonight. Josh said, no, y'all got to play journal entry joint. Okay. We got to play that one.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give away a CD.
On that.
That was another joint that I was freestyling on. So there's bits and pieces of freestyle, and there's bits and pieces of like, let me write a little bit here. And I went in there, and that's another one you basically took sections and we crafted that thing together. That's crazy.
Yeah. Definitely. Let's let me see. Let me get to that. We got
like 30 more minutes.
Journal entry. We left. There's some things on here.
Oh, that's grab my head. That's a joint.
Yeah.
A house on a hill,
It's beautiful.
divided by oceans. I'm hoping you're here, screaming out hopeless. Grab my hand, I'm here, my friend. Grab my hand, I'm here, my friend. A house on a hill, I'm divided by ocean. Reaching out, hoping you're here, screaming out hopeless. Keeping on, grab my hand, I'm here, my friend. Grab my hand, I'm here, my friend. He walks with the shadows of pain, edge of his grave. He be pushing the crate. Nah, he ain't okay. I can tell that he's fading away, smirking his face. I really hope I see you today, offer you space, but you never will take. Either it's guilt or shame. Either way, I could care less. I just need you safe. Like, where you sleeping, bro? What you eating today? I see your hands and your feet while you chained to this space. I got the boat for you, the life coat for you, but ain't no hope for you if you don't reach out and take. My mother had you first, only son in the teens, then our sister to me, and she was coping through things, not the best, and I assume you've been exposed to some things. I can't imagine your perspective in the secret you keep. You were the oldest with a mama who was struggling deep.
That's a deep one. That took me a lot to get out.
I'll tell y'all, AI originally sung it, and I very rarely have demo-itis. Demo-itis is when you listen to something one way, and when it gets retouched, you can't quite come off of the original way it was. I think I'm going out on a limb. I think I'm saying the hubby was agreeing. I had a guy or two on my side that was agreeing. Was like, yo, we should just leave AI on there because it drives the point home further. And AI was like, nah, I think I need a pro. I need a pro in here. I'm like, yo, but you are a pro. Like, you use under my. She's like, no, I need a pro in here. So I'm like, okay, sis, let's do it.
Like,
let's bring her in. Let's get her right. Right? She came in. She knocked it out. Is it Zane? Is it Zana?
Jana.
Is that how you say her name?
Jana.
She got in. She knocked it out. Pro grade all the way across the board. She did everything we asked her to do. I had about 75 takes from that young lady that I had to cut down and get into where this was
a lot of work
on top of what we had to do. And when we were able to play it back to the naysayers, myself included, once it was done, it was like, oh, no, there's something here. This is it.
She did it.
And it really gives AI the opportunity to rock out over them drums. Them drums is like not what you was intending. I don't think the people was expecting the drums to come in that hard.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I
That's like a stand moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like a stand song where it's emotional, but it's still all hip hop. It's all hip hop. The bass is heavy. We ain't got a lot of instrumentation. It's just her, vocals, y'all, ears, and the message.
Yeah.
Which once you realize what the message is about, and you know it's a true thing, it really changes, your outlook on the situation. It changes outlook on the music.
That was a really tough song to record. I think it was because I knew coming into it, there's a level of vulnerability I had to be at. And every time I would come, because it took me maybe 2 visits to really get it done. I know the first time I tried to tackle it, but it was just too heavy. And during the time that I wrote it, there was a lot going on. I don't even know if I shared it with you. I think I did. I shared some stuff about what was going on, and it was in the middle of what was happening, and so it was really tough to voice it without being emotional in a booth. And so I knew okay, I'm gonna get emotional in the booth, and one thing I don't like is I'm gonna start crying in a booth. Now Blue gonna be like, oh, you all right? you good? So
we got tissue. We got tissue under the table, and you ain't never seen it, but it's there.
I wanted to kind of be
right.
I wanted to kind of be incognito, I don't want you to know that I was really in pain trying to express this. But I did it, it was tough. You remember I kept saying man, this is heavy. I was really in the booth crying. I was in there with tears in my eyes, I was like, but I can't let Blue see me like this. I can't let him see me like this. Came out I did that.
Yeah, I had to listen to that so much. There was prep that had to be done to work on it.
Yeah, that was rough.
What I'm saying? I had to work
rough.
on it in shifts because you're right. I mean, it is serious. I feel as though you nailed the delivery where they could actually understand that, oh wow, this might mean something to her. It's not just a song, it's not just a parable. It's something that, actually could be a part of her life. And knowing that, and you transferred it, so I'm listening to it, or I'm listening to you transferring that emotion over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, to where I say, I got to stop this one, I got to pause this and come back to it later with fresh ears or fresh energy. Yeah, man, I love that. That's secretively one of my top 2 or 3 on the record of any of the music that I did last year. I'm really, really proud of how that came out because it meant something. You know what I'm saying? It definitely meant something.
That's a good track, man. It's a lot, and I think a lot of people may be able to relate to it as well.
Right.
So
they grab my hand.
Yeah,
for sure.
So don't say it, but do you remember the first song you played for tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I'm trying to remember it, so I don't even know. But that's the question I'm gonna ask. For winning the album. So, throw it in the chat real quick. I'm gonna give away my album, so you'll be able to get one. I'm gonna sign it and everything. Those are set to order. So, of course, you wouldn't get it immediately, but when they all come in, I'm going to be mailing it out to the winner. So, the question is, what song did Blue play? What's the first song Blue played tonight? What's the first song he played? And so, whoever gets it right first
right,
gets the album. And sidebar, we really thinking about doing vinyl, Blue.
Yeah. Yeah,
I cannot wait.
that's gonna be dope.
I cannot wait to
That's
hear
gonna
that vinyl and
be
just
super.
woo. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I love vinyls. I love records. So
Yeah, that's gonna be funky. I'm excited. That'll be my second time on vinyl too. So, oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
yeah, yeah, I'm excited. So Josh looked into this one platform, um, and it sounds pretty promising. I'm excited. So we probably gonna need you to master it
Oh
for
yeah, we do it.
the joint. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
All right.
definitely.
All right. We got some some feedback. Yo, Kev, I remember now that they have it up there. So the first
Right.
person said not okay, and that was Kev. He said not okay. Was that the first song?
Nope.
The,
That
that
was
wasn't the
not.
first song.
Oh wait a minute. Was that the first song?
I think it was the
That
first
was the
song.
first
It
song.
was the first song that you
That
played.
was the first song. Yeah.
Yep,
Right.
it
It was
was.
actually because we was talking about the freestyle, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's how we segued into it. That was the
Yeah.
first song. The
So
last song we added to the record was the first song we played.
right. So I'm gonna make a note really quick, Kev. Um, you're the winner of a Souls Acrylic album. So definitely DM me, please DM me your information or email me your information so that I can get that set up for you. So I mentioned the vinyl. Somebody said, "Do vinyl, please do vinyl. Here's my money." This album was made for vinyl.
Oh, that's,
We're definitely thinking about
that's
doing
time.
it.
That's timeless. Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear if I do vinyl, I'm getting two. I'm gonna keep one wrapped up, and I'm gonna play the
Right.
other one.
I'm with you on that. You can count me in for that.
Yeah. So Kev, definitely send me your information. All right. I know we only have a couple more minutes. I'm gonna check our little list of things here. We talked about all these things. Can you give them your contact information if people want to get in contact with you? I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest. I feel
definitely.
some type of way. Like I don't. This is my producer engineer. So
Right.
maybe you can
Sure
listen to
indeed.
his
So listen,
old
y'all.
listen to his old
I got you.
catalogs.
I got you.
But yeah, tell them how they can get it.
I'm team AI. I'm gonna put it into existence. I'm trying to get to Saylot. I'm trying hard to get to Saylot. I got some things in my mind that I would like
You know
to
we
spend some
working.
time with that young man there.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can catch me on Instagram. It's Instagram / Carolinah Blu, CAROLINAHBLU. And then for my presence online, if you need to hear any of my work, you can hear it on AI's project. You can type me in, you can Google me and all of that funny stuff, but I'm not really chasing that part. I'm okay with pushing the buttons and being behind the scenes and letting the artists shine out.
My
I'm
bad.
not really into it for any fame or anything like that. So I don't really do the beat shop. I have a beat shop, and it's on Airbit forward / Carolinah Blu. I got a few tracks up there. Feel free to tap in on that. But you can hit me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram daily. You can inbox me or whatever. I'll communicate back. Even if you got questions about the production or whatever, that's fine too. I'm cool with sharing that. I'm not one of the people that will withhold information from you or make you feel like you need to do something to jump through hoops to get some info. I'm a
Facts.
sharer. I fought to get it myself, but I understand the importance of sharing it and passing it along to people that want to. AI, you're not in danger. You are definitely 100% a focus of mine.
You can't steal him away,
Um,
y'all.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
over.
Regardless of everything else, we'll do what we have to do, and then I'll do some other things because I am capable of holding a couple of different hats in the music realm. But
Facts.
you see what me and AI got to his first time out, so it's like, yo, listen, um, that's great for me to find that this late in my career. I'm really revived as a
That's
result of
dope.
that. So
That's dope.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, no doubt. So a couple things before we pop off of here. Um, one major thing, and I was trying to find the photo. I thought I had it linked up in here, But I want to say, like, first of all, thank you, Blue, for being here. Thank you. I appreciate the time we had together. I'm glad people were able to hear from you. It is my desire to continuously try to shine a light on the things that happen behind a project. It's, you know, I wouldn't have been able to create this if it wasn't for our relationship, how you trusted me, I trusted you, the relationship between us two, our respect for each other's creativity. I wouldn't be here. So I think it's important for me to be like, yo, here's the paint behind the canvas that y'all need to pay attention to. So I'm definitely appreciative of you for being here, bro. So I want to let you guys know, for those of you who do not know, I have a merch pack. The thing about this merch pack is once it's done, it's done. I'm not a salesperson. I am not a apparel shop or an apparel, brand. I am an artist. So when I'm doing this merch, it's just going to last as long as it's alive. Once everything is gone, it's gone. So it's probably really important for you, if you are interested in purchasing merch, to go and purchase it. I have a merch pack which has about 6 things. That's part of it. It has the shirt. We have the journal, the Souls Acrylic journal. I have the physical CD that I'll sign. I have the pin, the sticker, and the art print. So the cover of the album, it's going to be a 10 by 10, really nice quality that you could put on your wall, and I'll have it signed as well. So definitely go to the link in my bio or go to my shop online and get that merch pack, because I just don't have time to like reconfigure and do things like that. So once it's gone, it's gone. There will be like there is an opportunity for you to buy individual things until it's gone. So definitely go and support that space. Oh yeah, here's one of the pins. I think I got it on my shirt. That's one of the pins for the merch pack. I got it on my hat. I've been rocking it on my hat. The Pray Push Persevere pin. And then I have a shirt to match that, and sticker and everything like that. So yeah, definitely do that. That merch pack is available to pre-order right now between now and February 19th, and then after that, that's when we'll be shipping out stuff. So definitely I definitely want to check that out. Let's see, anything else? There's some thank yous in this chat. Thanks so much, Blue. That's Pastor Fury. He appreciates you. Thank you both. Grace said, thanks, Blue, for speaking with us. It was enlightening. It's on there now. I'm not sure. I think she's talking about the merch. But yeah, it looks like everybody appreciated the conversation. I'm glad and grateful for this space. And yo, man, continue to share, continue to connect. If you're not on the email list by now, you should probably do that. If you didn't know, I do a blog, check out my website and all of those things. If you're not a Patreon member and you're interested in it, go check that out, because all the proceeds from what I do is going to be going into arts and education for young people, basically encouraging and guiding the next generation of creatives. So support me as I support them. Yo, that's really it. Let me switch out here. That's really it, y'all. We made it. We made it to the end. That's behind the canvas of Souls Acrylic. For this section, that's production. The next time we come together, I believe the next thing is we're talking about let me see. We're talking about, my bad, y'all. I got 5 million things always going on, so I gotta look.
Take your time.
Yeah, I gotta look and make sure I tell y'all the right thing. I don't want to be saying the wrong thing now. So next Thursday we'll be meeting again, and I will be discussing the art concept. I'm pretty sure I'm talking about the art concept. So yep, the art concept. So I'm gonna have the graphic designer, he's going to be a guest. He's from the UK. He's going to be a guest, and he's going to talk about the process of working with me and, you know, how we collaborated creatively as far as my photography and his artwork. How he really, he is dope to take all the ideas that I had and make them come to life. And beyond that, understanding that I'm the type of person where, like, I could do it.
Right.
I could prove with my influence.
Sure.
I could choose to soothe you. No, I'm kidding. But how I could have done it, but I cannot do everything. So there's a level of trust that I had to have to be like, you know what? Let me go to somebody that can help me. And he knocked it out the park. His name is Stephen Davis. He has his own company called 40K Designs, and he did a really great job. So I'm excited about having him on. So if you're a graphic designer, if you do t-shirt design and you create logos and anything like that, y'all definitely want to come through next Thursday, same time. There's going to be a new link to click on to register, and it's pay what you want. All my Patreon members, you don't have to pay anything. You'll already be added to the registration list. If you want to come, you come. If you can't come, that's fine. The video will be on the Patreon page for you to look at. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Somebody said they wanted to sew tonight. Girl, you already sewing. Grace, you already gave. Yeah, you couldn't donate because you already do. Every month you give. No. Keep your money in your pocket. But hey, if you want to do more, I understand. I get it. I appreciate it. You don't have to because you already do it per month. But that's it. Thank you again, Blue. Yes. We're out of here. Pray, push, persevere. And you already know everything that you do. Y'all make sure y'all go all in. Da 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 da.